it's Yan Skates.
Welcome to the Yan Skate Show. Welcome to the Yan Skate Show. No more disappointment going on this year. Mr. Yan Skates is live on the air. For his floral designs, he is so damn fine. We had one hell of a time. He will blow your dynamite. He's coming now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone around the world, put your hands together for Mr. That's Mr. Yan Skates to you.
Hello, hi sir. Last episode, these lanterns were the big hit. We must get Klaus back to show us another trick. If you missed it, jump back on episode 1 and see how he did them. The big viral hit in the world was a judge who went to a Zoom call as a cat. So if there's anybody out there who's got any items with cats and flowers, then please send them in, because that would be gold. This episode we have not one but two sponsors. We have the world famous Vue Shield. So it's a way of having not a single use mask, and we have the fashion brand Manifestations. These are the logos. So I made this little mask. Quite cool, right? This show is packed full again. We start with a flower fighter challenging the rest of us in a nice way. Then in the middle we have two big helpings of flowers. We have first a florist from the Far East who tells us about his love for what he's doing, and then we have a photographer from even further afield who tells us about how she wants her work to evoke feelings. And then the big issue on this episode is mental health one. We delve into a term I've come across, and I think you'll find it very interesting. And then of course we end the show with a beautiful song. So come along and join us for the ride.
Is it safe to come out? I've been hiding in here during most of lockdown, and I'll show you why I've been making these luscious lips that have been keeping me going, and I can't wait to send them out. I'll give you a bit of the history. Right, the luscious lips. These are a facsimile that were made in the Victorian times by a firm called Bruciani of Michelangelo's David's lips. They were made for art groups, schools and things like that, to be used as an artist's aid. These ones I found in a skip at a school where I used to work. They were throwing them out, rescued them out the skip, squirreled them away. Fast forward 15-20 years and I've got time to make them. I've never done anything like this before. I've never played with plaster of Paris. I've never done anything like that, but I thought it's time for a challenge. We're in lockdown, I'm furloughed, let's get these things and let's play. First of all, I made a mould out of silicone, and there's a mould out of the original lips that were the Victorian ones. So that's my mould there, all nice and rubbery. Then we have to put the material in. When you've measured the volume, what you do is you put 2 parts of plaster to 1 part of water in volume. So there's my 500 ml water, and in goes my litre of plaster of Paris. And what we've got to do is we've got to fold it in. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to pour this into the mould. It's starting to stiffen up now, and I can feel that. So what I do is I then pour into the mould. That's what we're doing. So I've got that, all that mixture in there like that. And what we do then is we give it a good old slap. Always clean up your utensils afterwards, especially if they're going to be used for cake baking later on. I've smuggled these out of the kitchen. I could be in trouble later on. Let's see what we've made. Ease back the mould, flip it over, try and slip my fingernails in, and we pop it out like that. There's a freshly made set of lips. So, that's how I've been making them. I'm going to send out these to as many as my big flower family to do something nice with. They can do whatever they like, and hopefully we can see what they get up to on the Yan show. Aww. Well, that's me about done. I've done a clean up, and that's it. I've got to clear up and get out of here.
Is that my flipping jug and mixing bowl? Flipping pasties.
Well, looks like it's back into the shed for me then. See ya, folks.
Ralph, thank you. I hope you're not still in that shed. You will never be in my bad books, that's for sure. This is such a cool idea. So we're going to send these out around the world to all the flower fighters and to see what they do. You, dear viewer, will have to come back in the next episode, please, and have a look for yourself. I will probably do something with flowers, because that's what I do. But who knows what they will do. You will just have to come back and see. Meanwhile, if you do like flowers, have a look at this next item from Taiwan.
Hello guys, girls, people, I'm Andy Lee, and in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about me and my designs. I started my own studio in 2019, and it's based in Taipei, Taiwan, my hometown. Taiwan is an island located right on the border between tropic and subtropic, which makes here not too cold and not too hot. So there's even a saying that it's like spring during whole year here. Even though I don't actually agree with that because I constantly feel very cold during winter time. But we do have lots of cool flowers all year round, so I think it's very lucky to be a floral designer here. I believe this is not the best moment for the majority of people. But I feel lucky and privileged that I still get to appreciate the beauty of nature every day. That's the best part of being a floral designer. I learned a lot from flowers. They are delicate yet full of vitality. They are the survivors of some of the most extreme environments. Also, to me, they are the prettiest creations of all kinds on the earth. You can definitely find any colors, patterns, and shapes on them, which just makes me more addictive to them as I get to know them more. Lots of people have asked me what kind of style is my floral design, but actually I really don't know how to answer that question because I personally don't think about style when I'm creating a new design. What I really care about is that if I have presented the best of the materials that I've been using, and if I have successfully expressed the message that I want to show to people. To me, Flower design doesn't just stop at the stage of appreciating the beauty of nature itself. I also see flowers as a medium to convey a feeling or a story. I think that's the hardest part, yet also the best part of being a designer. I constantly touch them, smell them, observe them. Sometimes I even break them into pieces to see if I can find the connection between them and a certain kind of emotion that I'm seeking for. When the moment I finish the piece, I'm full of gratefulness and fulfillment. After the day I attended my ever first flower class in 2017, I felt like my life has completely changed. I finally found the passion and happiness in my life. And I hope I have shared some of that positivity with you.
I'm Emma Bass and I'm a New Zealand artist who works with flowers. I've become very, very focused on flowers because I see flowers as the universal symbol of beauty and they're international tokens of love in both the East and the West. My initial series, Imperfect, was all about finding the beauty within the imperfect. I was purposefully trying to create arrangements that were falling apart, that did have dying flowers, that had debris on the ledge. To me, a flower arrangement actually looked more interesting and more beautiful once it had demised somewhat, and for me they reflect our mortality. I think people were very reassured by them because it was saying, hey look, we are all dying, and these images are on the turn and you can see evidence of that, but they're still beautiful. And then I was interested in finding the beauty around facades, and I became aware of all the facades that we build in our lives. Then I started doing a series called Embellish, starting to use fake flowers and embellished, painted. I'm starting to paint the flowers and alter them in some way. And I'd like to create a little bit of an illusion with them, in that when you look at one of these arrangements, you don't know what's real and what is fake, which is kind of what the world is like, really, isn't it? Well, of course, Matisse is always is somebody who made a huge impression on me when I was in my teens, and I was very taken with his cutouts, which he started when he was in his 80s. And for me, that really resonated. To be so incredibly creative at such a late stage in life, I found that incredibly inspiring. And that's why I brought that into my new collection, A Little Garden. What I've done is I've actually appropriated them and added them to my reproduction of the Dutch still life, created layers. When I'm arranging my flowers, sometimes the vase determines the arrangement or the flowers determine it. It depends, and it's a very instinctive gut reaction as to whether I respond to something. I'll often start an arrangement and I will start it and it feels quite shallow when I've initially done it, and often it will take a few days and it will take a lot of altering and changing, and then it gets to a point where I do know that that is what it is. A lot of people think that I get florists in to arrange the flowers, which is not the case. I do it myself, and it really is just composition in a three-dimensional form. When you see one of these artworks, you'd have no idea that it was just on the humble little ledge by my front door, with all the children rushing past They have knocked over a few vases, I've lost a few. I think my everyday life is very much infused into what I do, and I think that somehow comes through in the work. Humans need beauty. Beauty increases functionality. It makes something work better. It makes people want to use it more. Beauty attracts people. Beauty connects people. Beauty makes people more empathetic. Beauty softens people. I just think the world needs more beauty.
Hi Jan, thank you for having me on your show. I'm thrilled to be here. And I'm beaming to you from the cool Art Deco city of Napier on the other side of the world in New Zealand. And tonight I'm actually opening my exhibition called Love, appropriately on Valentine's Day, and we've just started. Come and check it out.
Emma from New Zealand with her flowers and photography. I don't know which one I admire the most, floristry, photography, but when she puts it together, it's just pure magic. Now, my friend, on this episode, the big issue is mental health. Don't go away, don't go away, don't worry. I know it's a big subject and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room that no one wants to approach. Now, I'm Danish, as you might know, and I think we Danes invented the term oversharing. I've always been used to sharing and telling how I feel to anyone who was around, to my friends especially and my family members. And it's just a natural thing, it's what we do. So sharing, talking, listening is all very, very important aspects of dealing with mental health. I am also very willing to learn about new research and constantly looking up about the subject matter. So I recently came across this new term, new to me anyway, called toxic positivity. And I was like stopped in my tracks and I thought, can positivity be toxic? So I thought, well, in a good old Danish way, I'll ask my friends what they thought. Have a little listen and see what they said.
Toxic positivity is something that invalidates someone's emotions and can take away their hope by giving unsolicited advice such as, oh, you'll just get over it. That's definitely an example of toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity is dangerous because it disregards the very real issues that a lot of people face in their daily lives.
Toxic positivity is both shallow and harsh. It's the unspoken cruelty of pure self-abuse. It's not giving the body the abundance of emotion that it needs. It's not giving the soul the nurturing or the mind the peace that it deserves. It's not giving ourselves love. It's not positive.
I think it's toxic and probably more harmful to give a positive message without willing to understand or know the situation or the person, therefore not giving very constructive or useful suggestions. And by merely saying don't worry won't change things and may even enhance anxiety.
Toxic positivity is a concept that erases struggle. It erases different understanding of situation. It tells us to get on with it. It tells us that everything is going to be fine. What toxic positivity does is it actually makes things worse because it removes the possibility that someone could be struggling. It removes the nuance that life throws at us. Toxic positivity is exactly that. It's toxic, and we need to move on from that.
Toxic positivity is a total lack of compassion. It tries to negate everything you are feeling and make it of no importance whatsoever.
Nice. My friends had some very good things to say about the subject matter. I thought I'm not quite sure I really understood it. I think what I've learned is that if I come across somebody who's struggling, I have to just let them have their feelings as they are. I can lend them a shoulder to cry on. I can give them an ear. I can listen. I can talk. I can be there as a friend. The worst thing you can do is just, empty cliches. This, you don't need to worry about anything, or cheer up and all these kind of things. There is one cliche that is quite good though, I think, for this particular one, is a friend in need is a friend indeed. I think that covers a lot of bases. So that's really where we got to here. More research is required. It was an interesting one. It's a real sort of brain teaser, this toxic positivity. I hope it might have sparked a conversation for you and your friends, and that's what it's all about, talking. And maybe if you do start having frequent conversations about your mental health, I think you'll find that your friendships will get closer, and it can actually be quite enjoyable. So talk, listen, be there for your friends. That's what it's all about. And I will thank you very much for listening to the first mental health issue on the Jan Show. Thank you. My friends, so as Ralph would put it, that's all folks. We have been to Eastbourne with him and Jim, and they have started this lips challenge that will now go around the globe to all the flower fighters, and in the next episode we'll see what they all came up with. So that will be exciting. We've been to Taiwan, we've been to New Zealand. In the next episode we are also going to be traveling far afield. We've got a Canadian artist stroke, we're not quite sure what to call what they do, but it's very exciting. We've got a pop artist from London. We're still waiting for Andrew's whale, so we can talk some more about ocean waste, but hopefully that will be coming soon. And what else have we got? There'll be the usual flowers. There will be me wearing something. We've got a very exciting, very environmentally sound sponsor for the next show, so I'm very, very pleased with that. So all I've got to say now is this is one of the favorite parts of the show, where we get to the song at the end. And this video, I did the flowers for myself. It was directed by one of my favorite collaborators, Carolina Misrahi, who you should look up. She will be featured at some point in the future. And it was all shot in one room, and it just shows what you can do with a little bit of creativity. So until the next time, stay kind, stay creative. I'll see you then. Bye.
Sitting at home, I was there trying to figure it out. I got it all wrong, blowing bubbles can't help me now. You were once alone, now you're free, see it turn around. Can you make me believe in the love that I know you found? You are, you are, you are, you are so naive. You are, you are, you are so. You are, you are, you are so naive. But you are, you are, you are so. Dreams come true, even ones that you never had. I'm starting to feel like my dreams had another plan. Open the door, what I thought was another land. Looking at myself, staring back, do you get it now? You are, you are, you are, you are so naive. You are, you are, you are so. You are, you are, you are so naive. You are, you are, you are so. Know you're thinking of me now. I'm so trapped I can't get out. Show me love, I'll make it better. So far gone, I can't go on. You are, you are, you are so naive. Well, you are, you are, you are so. Well, you are, you are, you are so naive. Well, you are, you are, you are so
Please subscribe and come back again soon. Thank you, Vue Shield and Manifestations, for making this episode possible.